Hello, everyone. I should be live now. Welcome to the weekly sip. Jesus? What's going on? Ugh. You got the coffee here. Everyone, get your coffees out. Oh, it's still hot. Mm, that's too hot. Mm, people leave. Fuck you. So, what's going on, everyone? Blah blah. Gerber. Okay. Where are the Game Boomer streams, Tubby? I decided to work on videos. Tomorrow's video is already done and uploaded. It's in the queue. I've got like 3 other scripts written. Gonna have to record them between now and the Skaven RP on Arch's channel. I'm making a backlog because I feel hyper motivated. The plugins are out. Great. Okay, that'll also be on the fucking list of things to do. Making more coffee, Dragon Fat. Nice. Yeah, the thumbnail is in fact a jar of the man's piss. I did not, Dragon Fat. God fucking damn it. No, we decided to spring clean the house, and I did a bunch of videos, so we're good on the backlog. Dev is obsessed with asking this one chick hunter how many logs she drops. You mean chops, not drops. Chops. It's chops, Dragon Fat. I only asked 3 times. I will probably do a Johnny Depp follow up. How many of you guys watched the Johnny Depp stream that I did with Lilith? That was a fun stream. I think we're good to go this Wednesday again. It's a jar of Jarati. But I think Lilith and I are good to go again. Maybe we can actually keep up this Wednesday, the weekly Wednesday show with Lilith, you know? I'm gonna have to transfer it at some point soon over to the Devin Lilith channel. So you guys make fucking sure that you're subbed to that channel, alright? YouTube listed your stream as a public broadcaster service. That's funny. YouTube's so fucking dumb. Okay, hold on. Devin Lilith. Is this channel right here. And I'll put my gaming channel in there for good measure. There. So the first one is the Devin Lilith channel. That's where the weekly Wednesday show will be moving soon. And the second one is the gaming channel, which I stream there. I intend to stream there most nights. But okay, so I should discuss with you, since I did miss 2 gaming streams, which is unfortunately becoming a semi-regular thing. I should tell you what's going on. Okay. I've had problems writing recently. And I was like, what? I wanted to get to the bottom of it. Like, what the fuck? Is it really just writer's block? Am I that much of a cuck? And I was kind of digging through it. So I wrote a few scripts. And I wasn't happy with them. And I was like, why wasn't I happy with them? And I really kind of, mulled it over. And I realized it was because I didn't feel like I was describing the concepts properly. And I'm like, okay, well, why wasn't I describing the concepts properly? And then it was because, it's because they rest atop of a different concept that I haven't yet described. I haven't yet talked about. And I'm spending a good chunk of the video talking about something that is foundational to the video's topic, but is otherwise unrelated to the video's topic. And I was like, Jesus Christ, no wonder I don't feel good about these scripts. I'm jamming so much shit into them. So, I did a video. That's going to come out tomorrow on the topic of concept creep. Because I realized I was doing a Libs of TikTok video that I didn't like. I was doing a Don't Say Gay video and the whole groomer discourse thing. I was doing all these topics and I realized I was relying on concept creep. And I hadn't actually talked ever before on this channel about concept creep. So tomorrow's video will just be a description and discussion of what concept creep is. You can pretty much tell by the name of the name of the thing. But basically how it works, what it is, who defined it, what like examples of it. A decent little lecture on what concept creep is, and then from there I think I can build upon and start doing the other topics. So I think that's why I felt so unsatisfied with the videos I've been writing recently. The TLDR is though that concept creep, it happens. It's basically the expansion of a very specific idea. So, for example, when you like find a new thing, I'll give you one example. I'm not going to give you all the examples. I'll give you one example from the video. One example was the term bullying. Bullying as a term was coined in the 1970s to describe um, to describe behavior between children in a dominance hierarchy, where a person higher in the hierarchy would repeatedly abuse a person lower in the hierarchy. And that's all that bullying meant. Bullying only meant that. And since the 1970s, we've found it useful to expand the definition of bullying to refer to, say, the same behavior in a workplace setting. It's like, okay, well, even though they're not children, it's similar enough that the same word applies. Okay, so the idea of concept creep is like when you discover a new thing, the definition will grow outward from its initial point of discovery and start to encompass other things. And sometimes that makes sense with the bullying example, including adult bullying, not just child bullying. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes what's going on there is that the concept expands too much and starts to take in things that are completely unrelated, but there's a political reason for it. So the example there is trauma. Like, well, what is trauma? Trauma is a very specific medical term, but now fucking everything is traumatic, you know. And everything's traumatic because some people are just really fucking soft. Some people it's very politically convenient because it allows them to, claim the moral righteousness of being a victim. It allows them. There's reasons for why you would do this. So, I'm going into depth in the concept creep idea in tomorrow's video, and then from there I will build upon that to talk about libs of TikTok, to talk about the Don't Say Gay bill, and to talk about a few other topics that I have lined up. Yeah, Nazi's an obvious one. Everything I don't like is a fucking Nazi now. $5 from Silver Camaro. Hold on, $2 from Jesso Heavens. That's a creepy concept, Dev. Ha, thanks, buddy. $5 from Silver Camaro. Mary Kill Fuck, Tim Pool, Destiny, Sargon, but they're all cute cat girls. I don't fucking know, dude. Man, never ask me Mary Kill Fucks. I can't ever do them. There's no way either of them would make cute, good cat girls anyway. Thanks for the donations, by the way. I was bullied at work for choosing which bathroom to use. What? So anyway, I get into the psychology of concept creep because it began as a psychological topic, and then it moved into politics and sociology. So I kind of go over a bunch of examples. I talk about how it works. I talk about why leftists are more likely to do it, but rightists do it as well. Then eventually we get to all the various other topics. I'll do that throughout the week. Now, once we have the concept creep definition established on this channel, I will feel comfortable doing the other topics. I can't just do it mindlessly, Coffee's good, man. Coffee's good. As for Game Boomers, yes, I sacrificed a few streams to try and get some of this done. Also to try and spring clean the place. We finished spring cleaning the washroom, and we finished the upstairs washroom anyway. We finished spring cleaning the kitchen. I'm gonna do the studio next. Truck video is coming, but here's the thing. I'm actually kind of happy I waited now because there's new protests in Ottawa right now. They just started, and they're the same thing. It's trucker related stuff. So I'm like, damn, I'm kind of happy this is going to be a huge thing that I can keep covering. Yeah, it is also the don't say straight bill because it just bans sexuality from being talked about with kids under 9. $2 for silver. Since you tell me not to play Kill Fucking Mary with you, I will more. Okay, you can keep sending me money for questions I can't answer. I mean, I'll take the fucking money, dude. Thank you. In any case, that's what's going on with me now. Oh, so with the spring cleaning done, the next thing to do is on Game Boomers, I intend to basically just finish up the games that we're playing. And the games that we're currently playing are that shitty Final Fantasy Dark Souls type game, the new Kirby on Switch. We're doing the post game, like 100%ing it in all the super hard levels. So the new Kirby. And I think we're also going to try to finish up Borderlands and Kena Bridge of Spirits, because in the next few weeks, I'm losing my couch, so I can't do the couch streams anymore. Damn. So we're gonna have like a week of couchless streams where we do like Wii shit and Switch shit and Connect shit. It's gonna be fun. No more couch. R.I.P. Anyway, I pinned the Devin Lilith channel and I pinned the gaming channel, so please consider following them. It would be nice if you did. No, my Red 7, my gaming channel has we green screen a whole couch. So we sit on the couch and like the room is green screened. You're in a car, got no coffee? Rip. You know, I have noticed like a slow decline in viewership for the Weekly Sip. Do you guys still like this show? I wonder. I've been considering changing up what I do on Sundays anyway. So maybe I should. Maybe I should just like dive headfirst into it, you know? I don't know. It'll be called Watch Dev and Dave Make Fools of Themselves in VR Week. Thanks, Rift. Appreciate it. I'm sipping. Yeah, right now. Yeah, because what I'm considering doing is I might like I'm mulling it over in my head. I've considered doing like more regular streams than just the Sunday ones. No, Couch Sama. Thanks for the 2. Wait, hold on. It's thanks for $2. Jiggy, it's usually around between 10 and 11 a.m. That's normal. This is my favorite of your content. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a fair amount of preamble, but you know what? I like talking to you guys. This is my community interaction time. Come on. This time of start varies week to week. Okay, fair enough. Doing the afternoon, not the morning. This is afternoon for somebody. Well, you know what? Maybe that is enough preamble at this point. Turn yourself into a VTuber anime girl? No, thanks. Maybe Naomi can if she wants. I'm still completely fine. You guys have to go harass Naomi and make her into a VTuber. I'll help her out with that shit. If you guys want to see more of that lolly VTuber action. Okay, anyway. Enough preamble. Want to get to it? Let's do it. So, if you want to support the channel, you can hit up the $5 club. How you get in is by giving a $5 monthly recurring tip to Patreon, Subscribestar, YouTube memberships, or twitch.tv/GameBoomers' sub button. $100 to PayPal. Get into the $5 club for life. Just DM me your receipt with that 100 USD, and we'll put you in there. Jesus. Okay. And if you want to mail us packages, there's the P.O. Box. We will open them on stream, of course. Now, let me just adjust here, okay? I don't want to give you my money, devs. Well, fuck you. I'm looking for the links. I'm looking for the links. You guys ready? Hold on. My favorite part of the Sitch and Adam stream on Xanderhall was him being confused by the VTuber announcement video. Xanderhall was just looking for like anything he could fucking pin on me. That's all it was. And now he's like dodging Sargon because Sargon like wants to debate him. He's ducking Sargon. He's such a fucking weasel, dude. God. All right, I think I have the articles up now. Here we go. Yeah. I feel like we did this one last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Let's do it anyway. Let the green M&M be a nasty little slut. Oh, God. Mars Wrigley is trying to make the green M&M wear Larry David sneakers, and we won't stand for it. I think we did this. Yeah, because she still had heels. This one still had heels. And she used to wear heels, and they gave her sneakers. And everyone's like, oh, no, they're desexifying the green M&M, but the brown M&M still has heels. So we did this one. Yeah, we did this one. All right. I guess we can skip it. Like, do you really want to? Yeah, because we watched these. Oh my God, we watched these. Where she has the heels on, and she's doing like, she has the thigh highs, and she's doing like the sexy almond thing. It's so fucking weird. And now they're all melting. Yep, I get the joke. It's a pretty good joke, you know? Stop telling us the same story, old man. Sorry. Okay. Let's move on to the next one right away then. I wanted my son to reject masculine stereotypes. Then he fell in love with tractors. You got this fucking this feminist mom and then this Giga Chad kid. All right. After turning only 2 years old, my son Avishai started demanding that he only wear tractor shirts, and my mind spiraled into darkness. Let's zoom in on this nonsense. My mind spiraled into darkness. Jesus Christ. I catastrophized worst case scenarios, imagining a world where he fell for everything stereotypically manly. I envisioned him on a football field, barreling through mega muscled opponents, imagining him waxing a sports car on a warm summer day. I have always judged other guys who seemed boxed in by masculinity, but 3.5 years ago, when I became a stay-at-home dad, my bias skyrocketed. Jesus Christ, dude. How would you let your son enjoy what he wants to fucking enjoy? My son was born in Albany, New York, in the bedroom floor of the apartment I shared with my wife. Minutes after his arrival, we took turns cuddling him against our bare chests. While the midwife and her assistant cleaned up, my wife, always with the jokes, even soon after giving birth, bragged that she had a connection to our new baby that I could never attain because men couldn't bond babies like women could. I don't necessarily agree with that. However, this shit here, okay? When I read Born on the Floor, I was like, are you guys like really poor? Like, is that what happened? And it's like, oh no, wait, there's a midwife and an assistant. No, they're doing like that natural birth thing at home. And that's when I'm like, oh, okay. So this is a white guy with a black girl. All right, that's awesome. That makes that's a pretty good Pornhub search, I gotta say. And that's his kid. Okay, fine. But his kid likes tractors. Is that so fucking bad, dude? Her comment stabbed into me, but I feared he was right. I feared she was right. To me, femininity wasn't connected to empathy and kindness, while masculinity was equated to being frigid. Men didn't hug. Men didn't say "I love you." Men were angry, aggressive, inept as parents. I became determined. I was going to create a bond stronger than any parent that had ever achieved. I told myself to do so, I needed to distance myself from anything deemed masculine. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god. That's not how this works. Your son is going to be masculine. He needs a masculine role model. It's so dumb. I immediately cut my hours at my social work gig, taking on the role of caregiving full time. It made sense because my wife made more money and I was accustomed to being around kids. It was what I did for a living. Every day I fed Avishai and cuddled him and soothed him. We co-slept and he snoozed with his head resting on my chest, listening to the rhythm of my heartbeat. I began attending mommy and me playgroups and bristled when other caregivers made jokes about me providing daddy daycare. I held resentment that so much of society acted as if dads couldn't care for their kids. But I too looked at dads that way. So this is your fucking problem then, buddy. Jesus. I shuddered at jokes about men being incapable of figuring out how to work a diaper, yet I felt most couldn't. I became even more of an avid stereotyper. I grimaced at anyone driving a Ford car, the John Wayne of automobiles. Like, look at this fucking soy boy. Maybe he just feels like he's not masculine enough to actually man up, and that's what's going on here. I hated men who wore plaid. I felt ill if someone mentioned a wrench or another tool. How do you fucking fix things? Jesus, this guy's like, my God, this guy's gonna get constantly cheated on by his wife. When my mom-in-law brought Avishai a coverall with footballs on it, I shoved it into the depths of his closet, never to be found. And his kid's like, "Are you fucking serious, Dad? Look at this face." He's like, "I can't fucking believe that I came out of your ballsack." Wait. I paraded him through the park while he rolled his baby down. He's like, "Really? This is what you want me to do? Roll this around? This is what you want?" It wasn't as if I had grown up with a negative example of fatherhood. My dad was an interior decorator. Okay, interior decoration isn't the most manly of jobs, I gotta admit. Working 60 hours a week at the family business. Deichter's Wallpaper and Design Center. Outwardly, my father filled the role of the man of the house, but inside, my mom made most of the family decisions. My father was never afraid to blur boundaries. I was hugged frequently and told I love you. He, too, despised sports, but loved watching Hallmark movies with my mom. After his employees started selling home manicure sets as a side hustle, my father spent nights sitting at the kitchen counter beautifying his nails. Well, fine. But maybe this lack of masculinity in your family is like an endemic problem at this point. In many ways, I'm an extension of my father, further pushing what is acceptable for men. Once my son could walk, I paraded him through the park while he rolled his baby doll down the sidewalk with a stroller. I felt accomplished because he mirrored being a caretaker. He's like, I want my son to also be these beta males, just like his dad, just like his grandpa. This is gonna be a family of beta males, guys. You will not disrespect the family tradition. Thanks for the super chats, guys. I'll read them on the break. Thank you very much. But then came the tractors. It started with YouTube. On days I was especially drained, I'd sit Avishai in front of the TV and click on Little Baby Bum. He fell in love with the tractor songs, and I was so worn I didn't care. When he asked to watch clips of construction equipment, I mindlessly pressed play. When he demanded the shirts, I felt like I failed him. I pride myself on blurring gender lines. I wanted him to, also. Son, you will be non-binary just like me. We don't accept masculinity in this household. No son of mine. I had to make a choice. Buy him clothes with pictures of heavy machinery on them and make the kid happy, or force him to wear shirts emblazoned with fuzzy animals to appease me. And there's a car. The kid one. Oh, he's aboard a fire truck. Oh, that's cool. Like, look at how much happier he is aboard the fire truck than he is pushing the fucking doll around. All right. As the supposed heir to the family business, I stocked shelves and mixed paint throughout my teenage years. But my father acted as if the job ran in our family's veins, so he never gave decent directions for how to do any aspect of the gig. Nothing came naturally to me, and my father stared over my shoulder as I worked, frustrated because I measured window treatment dimensions differently than he would have. My body spiraled into panic anytime I attempted manual labor. Okay, so this is clearly a problem with how he was raised by his father. His father failed him, and now he's actively trying to fail his son. When I left for college, I swore I'd never hang a picture frame again. What? Okay, if you gotta put something on your fucking wall, dude, what are you gonna do? You gonna do nothing? Like, Jesus. You're gonna glue it to the fucking wall? My father accepted I wasn't interested in taking over the store, but he tried to push me towards degrees he felt were rational. He made it clear that my passion for art was just a hobby, not a career. So I enrolled in a computer science program, then switched to a business program. It took years of me faltering before my father gave up on directing me. Something clicked in him, and he began supporting me in following my passions. And then I discovered exactly what I was supposed to be. When I became a stay-at-home dad, my father kaveld, the Yiddish word for bursting with pride. Good for you, buddy. Although I'd like to believe I'm a special guy because I'm a stay-at-home dad who breaks through gender boxes. I'm not an anomaly. Well, you just said earlier that you spend all your time looking at other dads and being like, you can't do what I do. You actually suck at changing diapers. What the fuck are you talking about? You definitely think you're an anomaly. In his time, my father redefined what it meant to be a man. And today's generation is pushing it further. Fathers are increasingly taking on previously gendered roles, including cleaning, grocery shopping, and cooking. The number of stay-at-home fathers on the rise, according to the Pew Research Center. Research also shows that dads are more involved in childcare and that they see parenting as central to their identity. I mean, yeah, fair enough. They probably do. You know, dads like being dads. Yes. I had difficulty understanding my son's interest in tractors, and at first I tried to nudge Avishai towards different videos and clothing. But then I remembered how hard it was for my father to trust me to follow my passions, and the way we connected after he finally did. I took on being an at-home father because I wanted to bond with my son, and I realized that meant I needed to let him discover his own interests. He had to define his own identity, not be influenced by my own bias of what I deemed to be too masculine. And here he is. He's in here shuddering and sweating and having a reaction while his son is enjoying being inside of this piece of machinery. Fucking hell. Truck Coon to the rescue. The Chad son will reform the entire family. Fucking hell. I started taking joy in his joy. He radiates wearing his shirts emblazoned with diggers and dozers and excavators. At 3.5 years old, he can name dozens of different types of tractors. I always thought there was only one. He makes up quasi-gibberish tractor stories, sings quasi-gibberish tractor songs. Together we clean the living room. He uses his tractors to put all of his toys away. Sometimes my dad comes over and we drive tiny plastic machinery from room to room. My son beams. My dad beams. I beam too. How I learned how to stop abusing my son. Jesus Christ. Okay, dude. All right. Fucking hell. Yeah, like if you start operating really heavy machinery, you can make a lot of money. Like it's not like there's nothing in this, you know. You can definitely start making some cash here. Okay, let's go to the supers because I saw a bunch related to this article and I want to get them out before we move on from it. Jasso Havens for $5. Seeing how girly this guy is, I bet his father decorated quite a few other guys' interiors. Jesus, that's actually pretty good. C. Thomas Peasant, $2. Thank you. This soy boy reeks of projection. Brother Doom for $4.99. Help! My son calls my wife's boyfriend daddy, and I don't know what to do. Jesus. Generic for $2. Poor kid isn't gonna have a masculine role model. Yep. R.I.P. $2. No Coach Sema. Yes, the coach is temporarily disappearing from Game Boomers, but thank you. Thanks for all the supers, guys. I will read some more as we continue. Let's move on. Truck with 100 monkeys crashes. Some of them are missing. Oh my god. Look at this. All the monkeys. A truck carrying about 100 monkeys was involved in a crash Friday in Pennsylvania. State police said as authorities searched for at least 3 of the monkeys that appeared to have escaped the vehicle. The truck carrying the animals crashed with a dump truck in the afternoon in Montour County. The truck was on its way to a lab. Authorities have asked residents who might see the monkeys to call state police. Okay. I think this might have been an altered article or something, because I recall hearing about this story that a woman got bit by one of the monkeys and got sick. Monkey. Return to monkey. Yeah, this is the COVID monkeys. The COVID monkeys, guys, we're fucked. Let's continue. What's this? Oh, yeah. What the fuck is this? These are camel toe panties. So, if for some reason you want to fucking embarrass yourself, you just put these on so you can have a visible camel toe. Who wants this? Like, who the fuck was at the bite of 87? That was a couple years old. That was like I think it was last month that the monkey thing happened. But who the fuck wants this? This is so stupid. Jesus. Okay. Woman sent child porn images to impress the man she was dating. What the fuck? A Tooele man who police say has had an addiction to child pornography for 20 years, and a Taylorsville woman who helped enable that addiction by allegedly sending him pictures she took of a young girl, have both been arrested. Christopher Poole. Christopher Poole? That's the guy. Chris Poole is the guy who started 4chan. Is this the same Chris Poole? Christopher Poole, 34, was charged Thursday in 3rd District Court with 10 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, second-degree felony. Brittany Driscoll, 36, of Taylorsville, was booked into the Salt Lake County Jail late Thursday for investigation of 15 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. Poole has been under investigation since August, when Snapchat reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that someone was uploading multiple child pornography images and videos to an account determined to be owned by Poole. As investigators went through his account, it's spelled different? Okay, Jesus. It's moot? I don't think it's moot. I don't think it's moot, guys. I don't think it's moot. A moot moment? See, I thought moot was gay, though, in the end. Okay. Poole has been under investigation since August. Okay, yeah. As investigators went through his account, they discovered numerous messages between Poole and other Snapchat users asking for and distributing child pornography. On Tuesday, agents went to Poole's home with a search warrant. During questioning, he admitted he had viewed child pornography for about 20 years, and to sending and receiving child porn on Snapchat, according to the charges. Poole said that one of the people whom he received pictures and videos from was Driscoll, a woman he was in a relationship with. On Thursday, Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force agents went to Driscoll's residence to serve a search warrant there. While questioning her, Driscoll admitted to taking multiple pictures of a young girl. Brittany would then send the videos and pictures to Christopher Poole via Snapchat. Jesus, this isn't funny. It's the name. It's the name. She stated that Christopher would ask for the naked photos of the child, and she wanted to impress them, so she would take them. Jesus Christ. I mean, I think Moot at this point, he's working for Google and he's living in Japan, isn't he? He ended up selling 4chan. I know Moot cross-dressed at various conventions and stuff. This is fucking wild, though. Jesus. Okay, let's move on. Let's continue. Wait, there's a $10. Let's read it. Dev, do you think to some extent that culture, if there is no strong opposition, is directed by politics as law, force, but most importantly, time, normalize ideas and processes? I don't completely understand the sentence. It's kind of weirdly phrased. But thank you for the $10, Columbia. Dev, do you think to some extent that culture, if there is no strong opposition, is directed by politics as law, force, but most importantly, time, normalize ideas and processes? Law, force, and time normalize ideas and processes. Yeah, but it was like 50 caveats attached to that. Thank you, though, for the $10. Jasso, he didn't sell it. He passed it to Hiroyuki. I thought he sold it to Hiroyuki. Oh, thank you, though. Let's continue on. What's this one? Oh, yeah. Bros helping bros on Twitter. Follow this account, guys. Bros helping bros. Helping Chads. Young brother on his way to a job interview having trouble with his tie. Lady in the red coat noticed him struggling and nudged her husband with her elbow. I pray there's hope for a better tomorrow. Look at this guy. I'll put your tie on for you, Sonny. I've actually seen this quite a bit, where you have like, I'm gonna have to be probably slightly racist by some progressive people's standards, but whatever. There's like a bunch of, young black men who didn't really have like a stable home life, didn't really have a dad to teach them things, but they still managed to like get to school and like get a decent job, and so they're like, I gotta fucking put a tie on for this. I don't know how to fucking put a tie on. I didn't learn any of this shit. And then you see an older white dude come across him, and it's like, oh, I'll help you, Sonny. Stuff like that. You see a fair number of those stories, and they're always pretty heartwarming whenever you see them. Yeah, man. And he's like, I'll teach you how to do it. I wonder what else is on this account. 8-year-old boy sells his Pokemon card collection to pay for his sick dog's treatment. Oh. Giga chat. Okay, Jesus. Elderly YouTuber writes subscribers down in a notebook, then thanks them individually. Aw. Muhammad Ali stopping a suicidal man from leaping to his death. Imagine just like, you're about to jump, then Muhammad Ali pops out, hey. Jeez. Man. Kid streams Fortnite for 10 hours a day to pay for dad's cancer treatment. Damn, dude. Like, this is just an account full of good stuff. Firefighters in Arizona are putting out a Mexican fire with like a big crane going over the border to blast the water. Wait. Reporter wears grape suit to defend boy suspended for banana suit. This fucking... What a weird... like... All right. Dude from Comcast fell asleep during my install, and I deadass let him sleep because bro needed it. Okay. This is a pretty good account. You guys should follow this account. Lonely man, 94, calls police to help him raise a toast on Christmas Day. Oh, poor guy. Okay, I can't just scroll on fucking Twitter this whole stream. We got to keep going. Okay. This LA school called the cops on unvaccinated teens who showed up for class. The students' negative COVID tests weren't good enough for the school. Jesus Christ. When 15-year-old Ella Nahum and a few other unvaccinated students showed up at Los Angeles' New West Charter School on Tuesday, January 18th, after winter break, this one's a couple of months old, yeah, they brought lunches, backpacks, and negative COVID tests, hoping to be allowed in. They'd been negotiating with school administrators since early October, where the school had announced that a vaccine mandate would go into effect in January. Prior to returning to school from winter break, they'd requested a hearing attempting to find alternative options to getting vaccinated. When they showed up at school around 7:30 a.m., they sailed through the first checkpoint, run by 2 newly hired security guards who were satisfied with the girls' proof of negative tests conducted in the last 24 hours. It was the second checkpoint, run by school administrators demanding proof of vaccination, that created trouble. Several hours later, after intense negotiations between administrators, teens, and their parents, the school called the LAPD to the scene and cordoned the teens off, denying them chairs and bathroom breaks. Nahum tells Reason that she's unvaccinated for several reasons. Given her Jewish faith, she has reservations about putting foreign substances in her body, like vaccines or birth control pills. She has concerns about the fact that most other vaccines go through many years of testing, whereas the COVID-19 vaccine has not. Some of her friends have had their menstrual cycles stop around the same time they got vaccinated or encountered other bizarre side effects. And all that aside, she already contracted the virus back in December of 2020. The big thing that's been going around is the big thing that's been going around is that I'm an anti-vaxxer, and that's not the case. The school claims that its student body is 96% vaccinated, but Nahum mentions that she's heard through the grapevine that some students have falsified their vaccination information, so that may be a slight overcount. Regardless, the school is taking a hardline stance. On the day the mandate controversy transpired, parents anticipated that their kids might have some trouble and accompanied them to the school, expecting to reason with the administration. The school called the LAPD around 10 or 10:30 a.m. An officer came and told the girls they weren't supposed to be on campus, to which Nahum responded that they have a lawyer and a hearing with the school. Jesus. Yeah, LA sucks, dude. California sucks. Get the fuck out of California, guys. If anything, us not attending school is the illegal part of the matter. For several hours, Nahum and her schoolmates were kept confined to an outdoor area with a hard concrete floor, where they were sitting on a thin pipe that was lining a wall. She likens it to doing a wall sit, but some of the girls, who ranged in age from 14 to 16, started asking for chairs. Nahum asked the police officer, who asked the administrators, who denied the request, along with another one from a girl who wanted to use the bathroom. New West denies this account. Oh. At that point, it almost became comedic. They are adults doing something to 15-year-old girls. If anything, this just looks worse on them. Line dividers, the type that you see at concerts, were brought over to cage the girls in, confining them to the area. Broski, I can just go underneath, Nahum says jokingly. That's funny. It felt like being in a zoo. Then the bell rang and students filed into the class and began asking why the girls were cordoned off. Because they're unvaccinated, responded an administrator, according to Nahum, which made her furious because the school wasn't supposed to give out her medical information like that. Around noon, the girls received an ultimatum. If they didn't leave, they would face suspension. Nahum and the group decided to leave and haven't attended school since. I mean, that's the same thing as suspension. Like, you're not going to school, right? You're staying home, you're playing video games, you're goofing around. Jesus. Students are already required to take a COVID-19 test weekly, and when Reason pressed school administrators on whether proof of natural immunity would be sufficient to allow them to return to school, or why their current weekly testing regime is insufficient, they didn't respond. A lawsuit was filed on January 18th on behalf of unnamed students by Let Them Breathe, an organization that has fought against mask and vaccine mandates, and won a similar lawsuit against San Diego Unified School District. The school alleges that such vaccine mandates are in violation of California law. Jesus. Vaccine mandates can only be imposed by state legislature, not by specific school districts. Fucking wild, dude. Jesus. Students weren't showing up to stage a sit-in. They were showing up to go to school. New West is putting out statements that these students showed up to protest and disrupt, but they didn't. COVID poses minimal threat to the young people and can be transmitted by vaccinated people as well as the unvaccinated. The school even delayed its return from winter break due to so many people in the community coming down with COVID-19. The hospitalization rate, per recent Centers for Disease Control and Prevention data, stands at 5.4 per million for unvaccinated teens, which is roughly the same as the current hospitalization rate for vaccinated adults. If it's really about keeping the campus safe, you'd have taken us up on the offer to test every day. Says Nahum, noting that the way she was publicly cordoned off was humiliating. I'm not expecting to have many friends when I come back. Fucking wild, dude. Yeah, this Aiden, hey, how's it going? The school is in violation of federal law for giving out student medical info. Get stuffed. And I know what you mean by stuffed. Okay, so I've collected, I think, over 1,000 sources of various COVID things. I might start doing like a COVID retrospective because I don't want it to be simply forgotten what these fucking people did 2 years ago. The ridiculous lengths they went to, the amount of fucking lies they told. I have a giant list of things that I could do and I probably should do. Because, man, the fact that some parts of the world are still acting like this is fucking ridiculous, don't you think? Okay. Right. This is Lilith's Twitter account. Everyone go follow Lilith, by the way. So apparently Chris Pratt never attended that homophobic church that everyone swore that he did. Isn't that the whole reason people started to hate him? It was literally for no reason. Yeah, man. Chris Pratt did nothing wrong. They hated him for nothing. Yeah. Just replace Chris Pratt. For what? Because of your made up, utterly false beliefs about him? For something that someone else told you about him that isn't true? Jesus. Now, I think I'm going to miss this. Was there a canceling event for Chris Pratt? Did I miss this one? The Geth for $5. Thank you. Imagine there's people triple jabbed and still wearing 2 masks for their job in a city dodging human feces. Screw that. Yeah, and they're smoking on their break. So fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. Hold on. Give me a second. Another $10 by Lady Columbia. Thank you. Even with Elon improving Twitter, do you think the old way of social media dying off over this decade? I think social media is going to just decline in general. People try to establish real relations. Yeah, honestly, I think we are actually seeing the decline of the woke scold. That cultural wave is done. There is such immense pushback from fucking everywhere. I'm hoping Elon will like herald a return to older internet, but I actually do think that in general, people are done with woke shit. You know, the next generation coming up won't be so fucking woke as millennials are. Let's fucking hope. You know Lilith is a trains. Oh shit, she's a trains. They tried. There was. He was still Mario. They tried canceling him. Didn't really work out though, did it? All right. Chris Pratt got canceled being a Christian because his church pastors apparently said some homophobic shit, allegedly. But he didn't even go to the church. Like people are saying, he didn't even go to that church. Oh, Kanisu's here. Kanisu's a good guy too. Anyway. This is like a glitchy as fuck site, but I want to talk about this. Man calls a suicide prevention hotline. SWAT team shows up and kills him. Mission accomplished. Okay. A Roy, Utah man placed a call to a suicide prevention hotline at 4 a.m. Tuesday morning and threatened to kill himself. 7 hours later, he was shot and killed by police. Wow. Okay. Neighbors described Calzada as a quiet, friendly man who was divorced and now lived in his home with his girlfriend and her children. The first tragic mistake in the case was made when the dispatch center sent officers to the residence rather than some type of crisis response team trained to with these individuals. Oh my God, is this going to be one of those? You should be sending social workers, not cops. Is that what's going on? Task failed successfully. Jesus. Okay. So a SWAT team came to the residence and negotiated with him for more than 7 hours before taking his life. Eyewitness Ron Smith said that he heard one shot, then a pause, then 4 or 5 shots that were very rapid. Jesus. Specifics of the case were not released, but the cop logic of reasonableness is officers are authorized to stop a threat whenever their life is threatened or the life of another is threatened. And at that point, if the officer feels he's justified, he may act to stop the threat. So, like, you know, you get someone's going to kill themselves, the cops show up, and then, like, he gets into a fight with the cops. He almost kills one of them, so they kill him. And it's like, okay, well, you have your suicide by cop. There you go. Like, it kind of sucks, obviously. But the way that it's framed is just kind of funny. It's funny in, like, a dark way, you know? Where it's like... I don't know if I'm a bad person for finding this funny. I'm sorry. Person calls suicide prevention hotline. Cops show up and kill him. Like, there's some humor in that. It sucks the guy is dead, though. C. Thomas for $10. It's weird having lived through 2 purity cultures now. First the evangelicals and now the woke scolds. One can only hope that this nonsense returns to being a punchline like it did in the 90s. Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you very much for the donation, dude. I'm 100% on board with that. All right. X-Men 97 head writer hints that the Disney Plus series will reflect modern issues. Oh boy. The world is a very different place than when the original was made. Oh boy. They're going to rape it into the fucking ground. They're going to basically go dig up the corpse, attach the electrodes to it to revive it, and then once it like wakes up, they're just going to start raping it. And they're going to rape it back to death. Okay? So, for those of you who don't know, the 90s X-Men cartoon is receiving a new season on Disney Plus. Because remember that? Remember the 90s X-Men cartoon that everyone loved? Remember your childhood? Remember when you actually loved things? Well, we're going to bring it back, but we're going to fuck it. And we're going to destroy it and make you watch it. You're going to have to sit there and watch everything that you love turn to shit. So yeah. Like, here's season 1, episode 10. Look at that ass. Look at that giant plump booty right there. I'll zoom right the fuck in on it. Look at this. Look at this booty. Look at it. Yeah, man. Well, that's a booty. In the latest indication that the series will suffer from the same critical theory-based writing that has doomed so many productions before it, X-Men 97 head writer Beau DeMayo has suggested that the upcoming Disney Plus revival of the classic Marvel series will see a focus on today's world. Today's world. Woven into its fucking story. Jesus. A single round is cheaper than a social worker. Thanks, Lady Columbia. I appreciate the donation. Okay. DeMayo provided this hint at X-Men 97's planned direction during a recent discussion with the direct writer Russ Milham regarding the various ways in which the fan-favorite incarnation of the Marvel superhero team's return to the small screen will differ from their initial outing. Before delving fully into the topic, DeMayo opened his talk with Milham by clarifying that though he and his team planned to make changes to the show, one aspect they wanted to carry over from the original was the earnestness of its characters, particularly in how all their emotions are on full display. You know, as a kid, I always found Jubilee to be a lot more hot than Rogue. I know everyone liked Rogue's big ass and her huge tits and her southern accent, her figure, the skin tight suit. But you know what? I always liked the more petite girls with like the short hair and like the 90s punk aesthetic. There was something about that. It did it for me back when I was a kid. It still kind of does now. Coffee's done. I have to get into the coffee for today. Let me read the super that I missed real quick. The Geth for $5. Elon's buying Twitter seems like the beginning of the end of the woke school paradigm, but we still aren't clear classical Marxism. Yeah, agreed. I think the Elon Twitter thing will result in a lot of keks at least. For me, it made sense once I met Julia and Eric Lewald and Harry Houston, who are the creators and directors of the original series, who are literally the best people you could possibly imagine, as they are so in earnest and sincere as people. He added, when you watch the series, I think what we remember about is that there is such an earnestness to all the characters. Everyone's emotions are on full display. Yeah. Everyone's sincere. It's just when you meet the Lewalds, it's like, oh, I totally get it. Yeah, there's Magneto. Yep. To that end, DeMayo revealed to Milham his philosophy towards revival's production, explaining, I think the challenge to me was honoring that earnestness, that emotional sincerity in the show where it wasn't just about the big bad of the day. That was almost, in some cases, an afterthought. It was really about the relationship of this found family, how they cared about each other and had disagreements. I mean, yeah, fair enough. A lot of the emotional underpinning of the X-Men show, and the X-Men in general, was the fact that they're all outcasts, and they kind of come together on the fringes of society where most people hate them, and they kind of build themselves a functioning way of life where they're not just constantly self-destructing, but they're actually building something that's good and doing good in the world. That was the whole point of the X-Men. Like from an emotional point of view, anyway. But I guarantee you they're gonna fuck that up, aren't they? And I always just come back whenever we're talking in the writer's room or we're talking to the directors, and it's just like we have to have the earnest emotion in every scene. Because I really do think that was the secret sauce to the original series. Well, okay. But How X-Men 97 may improve upon or differ from the original series. The writer asserted, I don't know if improve would be a word that I would use. I would not use the word improve at all. Fuck. I think that the show is amazing in so many different ways. I think that what I would say is that the generation who grew up watching that show, who we have grown up, and the world is a very different place than when that show was first made. Yeah, you've basically abandoned the ethics of the 90s for some cultural Marxist bullshit. That's what's happened. It's become ridiculous. And so it's more of a question of what does that show look like knowing what we know now? And how it looks like in today's world with everything that's changed and everything that hasn't changed, sadly, in our world. That is where I believe my focus has been as a storyteller. It has really been that. It's going to be woke nonsense, isn't it? It's going to be woke nonsense. It's going to be like they're not going to appeal. Like the 90s ethic was basically like equality before the law, leave people alone. It was like the libertarian ethic. It was the normie politics ethic. It was just like the regular, the regular kind of liberal but mostly politically disengaged ethic. And it was the best ethic. It's better than anything the left's fucking put out. Yeah, red flags. Red flags fucking everywhere. Oh yeah. X-Men 97 supervising director Jake Castorina's pinned tweet reads, "Fuck Trump. He's still your boy. Fuck you too." Oh boy. I'm sure we can trust this to be impartial. Though some may argue that Milham's comments do not lend themselves to any specific narrative bent, the outspoken opinions of a number of the show's production team may provide some clues. Alright. So yes. Fuck Trump. He's still your boy. Fuck you too. Yep. Here's the supervising producer. Donald Trump cannot condemn white supremacists because he is a white supremacist. Donald Trump cannot condemn... Oh boy, I'm sure that you're going to be... Like... Man. These people, they don't think... I'm not going to sit here and say that the X-Men cartoon was like the height of intellectual fucking cinema, but it was at least kind of smart sometimes, especially for kids. And these people are going to be completely unable to actually think that smartly, I think. Magneto is going to be MAGA. They view MAGA as white supremacists, but Magneto was a victim of white supremacy due to his backstory happening during the Second World War. And actually, that backstory is kind of essential to his character. Oh yeah, she also complained about Kyle Rittenhouse's verdict. The cynical inevitability of the Rittenhouse verdict doesn't take out the pain of what the status quo, racist bullshit represents, the terror it instills, the lethality it codifies. Kyle Rittenhouse is a fucking murderer. Fuck white supremacy. Fuck white supremacy. I'm edgy. I'm on Twitter. I'm gonna rape your show. Fuck white supremacy. It's, oh god, I fucking hate all of them. And this isn't me simping for white supremacy. It's me hating people who think that everything that's not them is fucking white supremacy. Okay. Her personal writing is filled with tropes, and these are the tropes: grappling with gender, himbo good boys, mom stuff, queer kids going on adventures that have zero to do with their queerness. Folk, myth, fairy tales. Neil Gaiman probably did this better. Anxiety over the future. Wow. This sounds like something I want to read. Do I want to read about grappling with gender? I mean, sometimes. Depends how it's tackled. I can give you some great anime that do the grappling with gender thing amazingly. But for these people, you know what grappling with gender is for these people? It's like, I might be trans. Okay, I guess you are. And then like the rest of the story is them protesting. Himbo good boys. So they don't like bimbos, but they're going to make himbos. Fuck, it's the same problem, just reverse now. Mom stuff. Why would anybody other than moms care about this? I'm a kid. I'm going to go buy the latest X-Men comic. It's about mom stuff. Oh, I'm dilating. Fuck. Queer kids going on adventures that have zero to do with their queerness. I mean, fair enough, right? Like, you could have a lesbian hero who goes on an adventure who isn't, and the adventure has nothing to do with her being a lesbian. That's fine. That's fine. But you have to make it actually a good adventure. Okay, whatever. Anxiety over the future. What do you want in your escapism? the same stress that you have in real life. God. Himbos are choice. Aiden, that's because you're a weirdo. Okay. Anyway, X-Men 97 is going to be... The revival will be developed for the core audience of maybe teens on Disney Plus and adults, but also explore adult themes. I'm so fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired of this. Fuck. Okay. Shelter workers organize a cat's birthday, hoping someone will adopt her, but no one turns up. What the fuck? Why is everything so sad today? Happy birthday. No one appeared. Sorry, cat. I don't even want to read it. It's the world's too sad right now for this. Oh, wait, Aiden, are you sad too? I'm just gonna fucking. Okay. Here, something sufficiently goofy, okay? Midwifery students taught how to care for males giving birth. Can I get a zoom in on this? Introduction. Welcome to the Catheterization Skills Workbook. Throughout this learning, we are going to look at the theory of catheterization, including anatomy and physiology of the urinary system, indications for a urinary catheter, and care and maintenance of a urinary catheter. This material is to prepare you for the skills session in week 3. It's important to note that while most times the birthing person will have female genitalia, you may be caring for a pregnant or birthing person who is transitioning from male to female and may still have external male genitalia. You need to be familiar with the catheterization procedure for both female and male anatomy. For this reason, where appropriate, this book refers to the birthing person. The learning outcomes describe the anatomy and the physiology of the urinary system in relation to normal continence, identify the indications and contraindictions of urethral catheterization, understand the role of the midwife in care and maintenance of a birthing person with a urinary catheter, demonstrate the ability to safely and effectively insert a urinary catheter in a birthing person using the principles of aseptic non-touch technique. Okay, so obviously, to use their language, cis women can get pregnant and give birth. Okay, fine. Trans women can't because they have a penis. They don't have a uterus or a vagina. Post-op trans women can't because though they might have a vagina, they don't have a uterus and they don't have ovaries, so they can't actually grow a child inside of them. A person who is transitioning from male to female and may still have external male genitalia cannot be pregnant because they're male. Even if we accept that they're taking on the social role of a woman, they are still biologically male. They still have male genitalia. They can't be pregnant. Now, a trans man can be pregnant as long as they still have their female genitalia. Is baby stored in the balls? This is just entirely wrong. A person who is transitioning from male to female who still has external male genitalia is not going to be a pregnant or a birthing person. It's not possible. It's not possible. That is a physical impossibility. Until we make uteruses out of genetic engineering and then put them into trans women so they can start carrying their own children, this is impossible. Okay? Impossible. Won't stop me from trying to get you pregnant. I mean, there's that, right? But this is This is some like Lysenkoism shit, where it's just like completely rewriting science to make it fit an ideology. Thanks for the $20, dude. I'll read supers after this article, okay? All right. Students studying midwifery at a prominent university in the United Kingdom were taught that biological males can get pregnant and give birth through their penis before instructors hastily edited a workbook they were given. Why? What the fuck? What the shit is this? Too much like an Arnold movie. Junior's guys. How many of you watched my Netflix video on Friday? I talked about Junior a little bit in that. What'd you guys think of the video? Okay. I think the article just describes what we were talking about. Yeah, it does. It's nothing special. Oh wait, there's a new thing. Okay. All right. A little bit later in the workbook. It is important to note. Oh, this is just the same thing. Section 4.2, catheterization pre-procedure. It's important to note that while most times the pregnant or birthing person with a female genitalia, you'd be caring for a person who has transitioned from male to female, male or has male genitalia. It's the exact same thing. They wrote the exact same thing twice. They just copy and pasted it at a different part in the workbook. No. If a person's giving birth, there is, I'm going to assume, almost no instance in which you need to catheterize a penis if the person's also giving birth. Netflix video was really great. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate you guys liking the Netflix video, guys. I worked really hard on it. Thanks. Okay. Okay. That's enough of that shit. Transgender woman, 26 years old, could serve only 6 months of her 2-year sentence at an LA juvenile detention center for molesting a girl who was 10 years old when she was a man because the woke DA refused to try her as an adult. Oh, Jesus Christ. In 2014, a 17-year-old named James Tubbs attacked a 10-year-old girl, following her into a bathroom of a Denny's in Palmdale, California. James Tubbs, who has since transitioned and now goes by Hannah Tubbs, sexually assaulted the child and only stopped when someone walked into the restroom. The assailant was 2 weeks off from turning 18 at the time, leading the Los Angeles DA, George Gascon, to refuse to sentence her as an adult. Tubbs was sentenced to 2 years in a juvenile detention facility, which would possibly allow her to be released in 6 months. Tubbs has other arrests for battery, drug possession, and probation violations in Idaho and Washington. He was a panhandler at the time of the crimes. The district attorney of Los Angeles County is refusing to sentence Tubbs as an adult, presumably because they weren't an adult back in 2014 when the crime actually happened. Tubbs was only connected to the crime after being arrested for another crime in 2019. Jesus Christ. So, this dude, I guess girl now, but was dude at 17, molests this 10-year-old girl, gets away with it, is caught 5 years later, but because he was a juvenile when it happened, he's going to a juvenile detention facility as a 26-year-old person. What the fuck, dude? This is fucking insane. This is actually insane. Is this the woman? Hannah Tubbs, a 26-year-old transgender woman, was sentenced to 2 years in a juvenile. Okay, Tubbs transitioned after his arrest. Okay. So this might actually be... So, like, you get arrested as James Tubbs, then you become Hannah Tubbs after you realize you're going to fucking jail. This sounds like it's a ploy this time. What the fuck, dude? Like, this is wild. This is insane. Oh my god, this is nuts. This is fucking insane. And you know what? I have even more for you. Jailhouse phone call reveals that the transgender child molester, 26, laughing at the soft sentence and mocking his victim, who breaks her silence to say that the things Tubbs did to me and made me do that day were beyond horrible for a 10-year-old girl. A California transgender woman who was convicted of molesting a young girl but got off with a slap on the wrist, sentence of just 2 years in a juvenile facility, openly laughed at her generous plea deal and was heard mocking her victim in newly revealed jailhouse phone calls. The 26-year-old defendant, who now goes by the name of Hannah Tubbs, Jesus Christ, the street sweepers are right now. Can you hear that? Fucking street sweepers are going. They're going around my neighborhood like for the past 2 days now. The reason what's going on basically is like we put so much sand and salt on the roads to keep them clear during the winter that there actually has to be like a dedicated vacuum truck that goes around and sucks it all up in the spring just to clear the roads out again. Okay. The 26-year-old defendant, who now goes by the name Hannah Tubbs, boasted to her father in November that she will not have to register as a sex offender and that nothing will be done to punish her for violently assaulting a 10-year-old. Tubbs also reportedly made crude and disparaging comments about the child she abused, jokingly talking about her sexual attraction for the 10-year-old. Jesus Christ. It was very loud. If you couldn't hear it, that's good, but it was very loud. I could definitely hear it. Tubbs' victim, who is now aged 18, hit out at Gaskin for his handling of the case, which he describes as insulting. And Gaskin has finally admitted that Tubbs may have been given too lenient a sentence after he refused to prosecute her as an adult. You're so fucking stupid, dude. Jesus. The things that Tubbs did to me and made me do that day were beyond horrible for a 10-year-old girl to have to go through. That man was very clear-minded and old enough to know what he did. And yeah, she's using he to refer to him. He did that day was wrong, but still did it anyway. It's something I struggle with, and it's something this is always given as punishment. I want something done about it. Gaskin, who has widely been criticized as being soft on crime, on Friday backtracked on some of his most controversial policies, including not pursuing sentences of life in prison without the possibility of parole, and not prosecuting juveniles accused of serious offenses as adults. Fucking hell, you're so fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. Gaskin's sudden change of heart comes as he faces a second recall effort organized by his critics, who contend that his woke policies are to blame for Los Angeles' rising crime rates. Fucking hell, dude. Oh god, do you want to watch this? Okay, hold on. We're gonna get set up. There we go. Let's go.
Don't worry about it. It's a strike. But they're gonna plead. I'm gonna plead out to it. I'm gonna plead guilty. They're gonna stick me on probation, and it's gonna be dropped. It's gonna be done. I won't have to register. Won't have to nothing.
For an offender, you don't have to register?
I won't have to do none of that.
So what are they gonna do to you then?
Nothing.
Fuck.
If there is a next time I ever get in trouble, I'm leaving the state. I'm leaving the country. I ain't staying.
Jesus. Fuck this guy, dude. Yeah, a person like this who transitions only after they've been picked up and is like very clearly not Hannah Tubbs. I'm not respecting this person's gender identity. I'm not using their fucking preferred pronouns. Fuck you. All right? There's no dysphoria here. There's only opportunism. Fucking hell, dude. Okay. On another call cited by Fox, Tubbs talks about her status as a transgender woman and reminds her father to use female pronouns in court. So now they're going to put me with other trannies that have seen their cases like mine, or with one tranny like me that has a case like mine. So when you come to court, make sure you address me as her. What the fuck, dude? Fucking hell. Yeah. You should be like, oh, dude, you're in the prison system. We're in California. We pay for everything. We'll chop the penis off right now. We'll just do it. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking hell. I don't. Okay, yeah, I shoved her hand in her pants. I'm not gonna read the fucking thing. This is actually like really disgusting. I might save these articles for like a future thing. It's pretty fucking disgusting. All right. Here, let me refresh. I missed those supers. Let me nab them real quick. Let's see. Scrolling down. Okay. The Geth for $5. Thank you. I don't think you can be this soft on crime forever without people distributing their own punishment. Yep. This guy's gonna end up taking a bullet at some point. Jasso Havens for $5. It's almost like transitioning is the new insanity plea. It has become that, and there's so many like trans activists who don't want to admit it, but that's how it is now. Brandon Garcia for 129 Mexicans. Thank you. This is the kind of shit the German National Socialists use as evidence to justify their atrocities. Yep. I'm not liking where we're heading. Sachin Born Rhinelander for $20. Thank you. A couple minutes behind, but poor kitty. So thanks for the sip, Dev. This is the best news roundup streams before the Sunday NASCAR Cup race. Much love from an RFK Racing and Rigwear Racing Giga fan. Let's go, Brandon. Thank you, dude. Noah Frazier for $5. I'm getting my bachelor's right now. I don't see academia slowing down on this woke stuff anytime soon. Yeah, that's true. I know what you mean. Yeah, that's true. But that's just universities, though. The real world, people are rebelling. Once they're outside of the university, people are finally rebelling. Yeah. Bring them up for $10. Thank you. You're not a bad person because you find suicide by cop funny. It's the deep intrinsic badness of your personality that makes you laugh at those things. Thanks, pal. Rise Gaming for $2. Hey, Dev, first live show. Did you birth the vampire lolly yet? That RP is on hold currently. We're playing a Skaven RP instead right now. Dajal for €10. Thank you. Calling it now. Jubilee is going to be a rainbow-headed NB, and Ryu is going to be a butch tomboy. Yeah. Can you hear the Street Sweeper now? The Street Sweeper's going. All right. Thanks for the supers, guys. Let's continue on. I donated sperm to father 47 kids. But women don't want to date me. Okay. His love life has been sperminated. A prolific father who can't find a partner admits him to be a paradox. However, a California sperm donor with almost 50 biological children feels that his controversial vocation may have torpedoed his chances of landing a paramour. Most women aren't interested in dating me. Oh, that sucks. The freelance baby purveyor, who claimed that an estimated 1,000 women have requested his semen, first started donating his swimmers when he was 22, as he felt traditional sperm banks were cold and clinical, and he wanted to know where his sperm was going. So, like a mom-and-pop producer in a sea of corporate sperm merchants, the entrepreneur began promoting his free service on Instagram, and soon, scores of aspiring mothers came a-knocking. As soon as 2 years after donating, I got more attention, and that's when I was actively donating more. I had a few successful pregnancies, so I started receiving messages on my Instagram from women, which I was really surprised about. I'm a happy... This person's like, what the fuck? Happy sperm donor. Yeah, man. He looks like Xander Hall if Xander Hall had any kind of testosterone. That's what it looks like. Fast forward until now, and the independent sperm banker has fathered 47 children in multiple countries, with 10 more on the way. But despite the fact that scores of women desire his super sperm, the serial surrogate said that he's had trouble finding that special someone. Although I've had a few women interested in a possible relationship, it never goes anywhere. I've accepted that my decision to donate sperm, but I've realized that dating may never be the same as it once was for me. Okay, hold on. Do women actually care? Wait, he's doing a direct injection. What, is he fucking all these people? Like, is he having sex with them? I thought he's just, like, donating his cum. The heart-sick sperminator said that if a special lady comes along, he'd be happy to indulge something more. It's possible that I could settle down and start a family of my own, but it would take a very special someone for who I am. I think discussing my sperm donating early on in our relationship is best, as she'll most likely understand the situation. It's because you made sperm donating your identity. Oh, okay. I feel great having helped so many women start families. The joy I receive from this is the best feeling in the world. He openly meets his children. Dude, okay. There has to be a level of professional distance to make this actually sperm donation. You can't just, like, meet your fucking gaggle of kids. God damn. He's currently on a sperm donation world tour. Fucking hell. Not just a US-based donor, Gordy is currently on a sperm donation world tour, with recent stops in Scotland and Germany, per his Instagram. And he has at least 3 kids in the UK. And in a first for across the pond, the charitable soul recently donated sperm to one woman naturally. At first, she said she was nervous. After talking for a bit, she told me how happy she was. We realized we had a lot in common, which I find is always great. We even discussed staying in contact. Wow. Maybe this is why you're not being able to find a fucking... Jesus Christ. This could be, like, written as a hentai plot. Dude has many girls addicted to his semen. He goes around impregnating everyone. That's actually literally 1,000 hentai plots already. Can we go back to the bros helping bros account? Wow. This guy, I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, it might make you a Chad, but it doesn't make you, a responsible family man that someone would actually be interested in. And maybe that's your problem, dude. Maybe that's your problem. Okay. Woman warned not to put ice lollies in their vagina to cool off in hot weather. Well, first of all, yeah, okay. I'm going to assume they didn't mean lollies like little girls. They meant lollipops. Not even lollipops. Like what are they called? Freeze pops, whatever they're called? Popsicles? Yeah. I guess ice lolly is the fucking British word for it. So, we're not talking about little girls here. The UK has been hit by scorching temperatures over the last few days. Looks like nice weather is going to be continuing over the next few days. There's plenty of good advice lined to how to keep cool. There's one suggestion out there that you shouldn't pay any attention to, no matter how hot it gets today. Some women might become so desperate for relief from the heat that they actually consider inserting ice lollies into their vaginas. Who the fuck? Who? Okay. Do not put ice lollies anywhere near your genitals. The vagina is composed of very delicate and sensitive skin, hence things that may seem innocent to other areas of the body. If they come into contact with the vagina, they can cause infections, irritations, and damage. There are many things that should never go near your vagina, and ice lollies are up there. The ice can stick to the delicate skin of the vagina and cause real trauma. The sugar in the lolly could potentially disrupt the natural pH of the vagina. And if all that didn't sound horrible enough, also the added concern that the lolly could break inside of you. Oh my god. Who the fuck does this? In June, a nurse begged ladies not to try and vacuum their periods after 2 young women were hospitalized for doing it. 19 and 23-year-olds had used a Hoover to try and suck up the blood and end their periods early. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? I'm so... Oh god. I'm so fucking done with this. Okay. And here is the headliner. Look at that brown pea, guys. Vegan, 34, who drinks a glass of his own month-old urine every day. A vegan who drinks his own 1-month-old urine and smears it all over his face claims his sister now hates him because of his disgusting habit. Open-minded Harry Matadine from Hampshire began consuming his own waste in 2016 because he was desperate to heal his mental health problems. He said his urine, which he drinks 200 milliliters of every day, left him feeling a new sense of peace, calm, and determination, and cured him almost immediately. And the 34-year-old, who sometimes cups his own stream and splashes it on his face, claimed it's the secret to eternal youth. But Mr. Matadine, who has written books about the supposed health benefits of his habit, says he has been rejected by his sister because of his so-called urine therapy. Advocates say that urine, which is 90% water, cures everything from autoimmune disorders to chronic pain. But medics warn that there is no proof urophagia has any benefits whatsoever. They say the practice, thought to have originated in ancient Egypt, speeds up dehydration and exposes drinkers to bacteria. Madonna has previously claimed to drink urine, as well as the singer Kesha. Jesus. Jesus Christ! Jesus fucking Christ! This is one of those sips where like every fucking article is wrong. It was beyond my wildest imaginations how powerful it was when I drank it. From the moment I drank the urine, it woke up my brain and removed my depression. Fucking hell, dude. I thought to myself, wow, I can make it for free and always keep myself in this happy state. He has previously wrongly claimed that drinking urine can reduce the risk of developing cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, heart disease, and strokes. Despite his claims of health benefits, Mr. Matadine has received fierce backlash from his family members and friends. My family never approved of it, thought it was disgusting from the beginning. Okay. I recall a Facebook post from like 3 or 4 years ago where basically a woman was doing what she called a urine eye cleanse, okay? Where she would fill 2 shot glasses with her own piss and then suction the shot glasses onto her eyes so that she would be looking into the piss with her eyes. And she did that every day. And eventually her eyes started started leaking massive amounts of pus. Just pus pouring out of her eyes. So she goes on Facebook and she talks to her urine group and says, guys, what's going on with my eyes? There's just pus coming out everywhere. And the urine group was like, don't worry. That's just your body purging out all the pus that was stuck in there before. Just keep going And once it's all purged, you'll have even better eyesight. Holy shit, dude. Literal nightmare goggles. Okay. Let's keep going. Nebraska alters Herbie Husker cartoon to avoid a link with white supremacy. What? The Nebraska Cornhuskers gave its cartoon mascot an upgrade to ensure there were no associations with white supremacy. In the original logo, Herbie is making an OK gesture. Some over the last few years after connecting to the symbol of white supremacy, 3 straight fingers making a W, and the circle formed to make a P. That's not white power. No. Okay, so now, rather than doing the OK symbol, he's doing a 1. Holding up one finger. Wow. Herbie Husker of the Nebraska Cornhuskers can no longer make the white supremacist OK hand sign. It's so... Oh my god. It's... What the fuck? Jesus. I thought we were over this shit. Yeah, they literally are husks at this point. God damn it. God damn it, 4chan. And finally, meet the shit poster who started a right-wing moral panic about the Snickers dick vein. Maybe this is just proof that I'm not actually on the right wing, because I did not know that there was currently a moral panic happening about the Snickers dick vein. Like the vein that goes down the middle of the Snickers, it looks kind of like a dick vein. The pinned tweet on Juniper's account is, "It's incredibly easy to create fake news. It's actually ridiculous, lol." But that hasn't stopped right-wing media accounts from frothing at the mouth over her tweets. Most recently, a fake news headline indicating that Snickers was set to remove the beloved dick vein from its candy bars. Okay, hold on. Tweeted a doctored version. Where's the doctored version? Right, because there's the sneakers that we started with, the green M&M's iconic sneakers. Okay. Tucker Carlson was talking about shit on Fox News. She decided to post about the Snickers removing the dick vein as a satirical way to point out just how ridiculous the media are about some of these things. How they'll take these stories and kind of run with it and not even verify anything. Dude, what's happening here is that the left used to do this all the fucking time with literally the OK hand symbol. And now the right's like, fuck it. That's the game we're playing. We're going to fucking play it too. Dick veins on Snickers, guys. And now everyone's retarded. No fucking way. Snickers are officially caving and removing the world-renowned dick vein from the candy bar. Woke mobs have been begging for decades, and finally cancel culture prevails. No more dick veins on your Snickers, guys. So yeah, this person here, Juniper, she's done like a bunch of viral tweets before. This is just a discussion of her viral tweets and how funny she's a left wing account. She is a left wing account, but she's also she's like a troll account. And you know what? I can appreciate it. I can appreciate the troll account. But you know what? No one actually gives a shit about the Snickers dick vein. It's just whatever. God. Okay. Here, I'll quickly shill again now that we're at the end. Hope you enjoyed, guys. So you want to join the $5 Club in Discord? $5 recurring monthly tip to pay to our subscribers to our YouTube membership, twitch.tv/GameBoomer sub button. That's the gaming channel. Follow the gaming channel. I stream games there in the nights, in the evenings, and I work on SFO during the day. If you donate $100 to the PayPal, send me the receipt, put you in the $5 Club for life. P.O. Box. P.O. Box. Send me your packages. I'll open them on the stream. There you go. And yes, I pinned in the chat the Devin Lilith channel, which once we do 10 episodes of the Tubcast, I think we're almost at 10, we're going to start doing them over there, streaming every Wednesday evenings. Make sure you show up. And other evenings during the week, I do streams on Game Boomers. Make sure you show up to that too. So please considering following those alternate channels that are pinned in the chat right now. I really appreciate it. No Game Boomers tonight because Sunday is usually the night that we skip. Sunday, we always don't do Game Boomers. We were aiming to do Monday to Saturday, at least one stream at some time, sometimes in the evening, sometimes in the afternoon. But that's the goal. We just haven't had to be able to do it recently. But we're coming back on Monday. Game Boomers on Monday. Make sure you'll be there. I would appreciate it. Thanks, Aiden. Let's read the Super Chats before we get out of here. Oh, also, I'm going to be on Arch's channel in 3 hours doing the Skaven RP. Make sure you're there, okay? Here's the supers. Thanks for all your support, guys. The Fatal Crest for $5. This is why we need the God Emperor, to handle those obvious Nurgle worshippers. Thanks, dude. Generic for $2. Urine Theory is just a synonym for urine fetish. I mean, probably, to be honest, probably. Jess Evans for $5. I wish I had the article of the guy who peed in his famous shampoo bottles because he believed that it would fight skin disease and they refused it. Jesus Christ, what a fucking weirdo. Like, usually you hear college students doing that for pranks. Like, I fucking hate my roommate. I gotta move out of here. This guy eats all my food. Fuck this guy. I'm gonna pee in his shampoo. Like, that's usually the troll. Okay. Jasso Havens for $2. Introduce Aunt Flo to Uncle Hoover. That's pretty good. Wilson, the unauthorized biography for $5. He's the Oprah of sperm donation. You get a baby. You get a baby. You get a baby. That's an old meme, dude. That's over 10 years old now. But thank you. Hammer X13 Thor for $5. Thank you. The sperm donor guy is literally the male equivalent of having the OnlyFans effect. Yeah, pretty much. BD, $10. Modern day consensual Genghis Khan. Years from now, 10% of the world's population will be traced to him. Not nearly that much, but I get your point. How many guys would want to be Genghis Khan and have like a shit ton of people just descend from him? Charlie for $2. Utterly fucking tiresome. I'm too sober for this. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm also like very tired. You know what? I feel like I did a full fucking day's worth of work just reading this shit. It's so tiring. Like, it's so fucking demoralizing. All right. I'm getting out of here. I'll see you next time. Make sure you're over on Arch's channel in 3 hours. We're doing the Skaven RP. Make sure you drop by Game Boomers tomorrow night. Follow the channel, please. I would really highly appreciate it because I work very hard on Game Boomers. And I think we have a good time So Monday night, 7 p.m. EST, maybe a little bit earlier. We're going to be playing some video games. I would like you to show up and say hello. What else? What else was there? There was something else. Yes. Devin Lilith, Wednesday evening. Come by and say hi for that too. Sub to the Devin Lilith channel. Okay. I'm getting out of here. Thanks very much. I appreciate all the support. I will see you later. Have a good one, guys. I love you.